Hey guys, so today I want to be talking about the difference between hobby horsing and like real or like horseback riding. But yeah, so I'm gonna be doing a little train with me, but first let me figure out my outfit because I don't know what I'm wearing. Okay guys, also don't mind I am a little bit snuffy, I'm like a little bit sick right now, but just don't mind that. So today we are going to be talking about the whole thing with hobby horses and real horses. So, yeah. First of all, I just want to say I am a hobby horser and I do real horseback ride. Oh, wait, there's the new horse. Let me look at this real quick. So, first thing I want to say is that I've never said anything about saying that hobby horsing is a sport or anything like that, because I personally do not think it is a sport. Okay, those horses were cute, but not cute enough for me to buy, because I'm also broke right now. Heh. I'm at 250, that isn't too bad. Alright, but anyways, in my opinion, I do not think that hobby horsing is a sport. Because yes, it is technically like in the Olympics, but it's not in the real Olympics. It's in like a hobby horse kind of Olympics, which does technically not mean that it is a sport. So I do not support that sport thing. I do not think it's a sport at all. And horseback riding is definitely a sport, but I don't like how equestrians are hating on hobby horses, because I've never said anything about that stuff. And I am a equestrian. I do hobby horsing and real horseback riding, as you guys know. I mostly post about real horses though, and not any of that hobby horse stuff. I have done a little bit in the past, but not a lot. Excuse me, one thing I do want to say is that I don't like how equestrians are hating on hobby horses and people are hating on equestrians, because that's just kind of setting them at a bad reputation, especially because not a lot of hobby horses like say that kind of stuff, like that isn't a sport or anything. And I just think it's kind of annoying and stuff. Okay, so this is seriously off topic, but why is my horse so slow? Hello? Anyways, back to hobby horsing and stuff. Sorry, I was just reading chat. I do not support any type of thing saying that hobby horses are like harassing equestrians. That's what it sounds like, because I don't know how else to say it. But yeah, I just don't think it's necessary for equestrians to be hating on hobby horses. I'll put a video example up on the screen and show you what I mean.
Don't copy my flow, no, just leave me alone. Don't copy my flow, no, just leave me alone and go. Don't copy my flow, no, just leave me alone and go. Don't copy my flow, no, just leave me alone and go. Don't copy my flow, no, just leave me alone and go.
Okay, that's what I mean. I put like 3 up on the screen or something. But I just don't think it's necessary. Even though all of in the description say no hate to hobby horsing, it's still technically hating on them. And being a hobby horse or any equestrian, which most hobby horse people are equestrians in real life, I just don't think it's necessary to hate on them, because if they say they're equestrian and they do hobby horsing, that most likely means that they do horseback riding in real life. If they are saying they're equestrians and they don't do it in real life, it's not really their fault if they don't know. It is technically their fault if they do know in that stuff, but I wouldn't recommend hating, because most hobby horse people do horseback riding in real life. Also, another part of that is that they aren't trying, like, equestrians sometimes aren't even trying to be mean, but it comes out mean. And I just don't like, because hobby horse people aren't hating on equestrians. I don't like it, and I do not support the hating between hobby horsing and equestrians, like all the hate that equestrians get and hobby horse people get. But I just don't really think it's that serious, because we already have the Western drama going on with equestrians, and then we have the soccer players and the football players. So it's basically like horseback riders are setting a bad reputation, but half the time it isn't their fault because of the soccer players and the football players and all that stuff. But I still don't think it's necessary. It's fine if you hate back on the soccer players and the football players and all those people, because they just deserve it. But I wouldn't recommend hating on, like, softball or any of those other ones, because, like, they didn't even do anything, but I still see hate stuff about them, and the equestrians are posting them and stuff, and I just don't think it's necessary to hate on other stuff that no one did, and then you guys are just causing drama that you guys started, and then it's just a bad reputation for horseback riding. But once again, usually it's more of other people's fault, but with hobby horsing, it isn't really their fault because they didn't really do anything. And by the way, to all hobby horses out there, hobby horsing is technically not a sport. Sorry to say, but I just don't count it as a sport, but all people have different opinions. But my opinion is that hobby horsing is not a sport, but horseback riding is. Also, another reason is hobby horse people are technically really supportive, so I just don't think hating on them is very necessary. As I was saying, it's all over one little thing, and it's just not very necessary, bro. And most hobby horse people do it because they don't have enough money to do horseback riding lessons or own a horse. So I just don't think it's very fair to them. But most people do horseback riding if they do hobby horses. Because I own 4 hobby horses. I own Popcorn, a Chance, a Joey, and a Spike. And usually don't post about them a lot, but I do support the hobby horses and the equestrians out there. But it's just not very necessary to hate on them because they didn't really do anything wrong. All they said is that they were equestrians, and most people that say that are equestrians. But like I said, in all these descriptions, they say not trying to hate on hobby horses. But it's just kind of offensive. Like, oopsies, did I press the wrong thing? Like, how people are hating on horseback riding, it's like, you guys are getting revenge because you guys are hating on other stuff. Like I said, it's fine if you hate on the people that are hating on you, but hobby horse people are technically not hating on you. And being people that are getting hate on, it just, like, you know what it feels like, so it hurts to get, like, that, and then you're putting all the anger out on people that didn't do anything wrong, kind of thing. And then you guys are calling it, you just putting a stick through your butt, and just, yeah. And it's not very necessary, or like through your legs, I don't know. Don't want to make it weird because these dirty-minded kids come at me. But it's just not very necessary to hate on hobby horses because once again, they did not do anything wrong. All they said is that they were equestrians, and I still don't think that they are equestrians unless they actually do horseback riding. But just saying it's dumb and stuff isn't right. It isn't a sport, but it isn't right to hate on hobby horses just for saying they're equestrians and making all these "don't copy my flow, just leave me alone and go." I just don't think it's very nice because like horseback riders are already getting told off and stuff. So just to be hating on someone else for doing it. You can always hate on the haters though, but hobby horse people weren't hating on them. But yeah, so I just don't think it's very necessary because, you know, I want to go over this topic again about where it is in the Olympics, but it is not technically in the Olympics for other people. But as an equestrian, I do see that it would be annoying when hobby horses say that they're equestrians when they're not. But some people are, and they actually do this work. But like I said, a lot of people do it because they can't afford. I'm just too lazy to do that girl's thing. But like they can't afford it, so they usually just do that. And I don't think it's necessary for hating on people because it's just kind of messed up, bro. It also hits harder when you are equestrian and you also do hobby horsing because you just see all these people hating on you when you are actually an equestrian. Like, I get it if you're not an equestrian, but when you are and you're just hating on someone and you are equestrian, but you also do hobby horsing, it's just kind of mean. Like, I love that.
It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me.
You guys are hating back on the haters that actually did something, like, badly wrong, like them baseball players and stuff. And soccer players hating on us, saying that horseback riding is easy and stuff when they've literally never sat on a horse and they are scared of horses. Like, it makes sense to hate on them. But for one thing that hobby horses did is just kind of mess. These kids are wasting their money on a stick and a horse head that you could literally make. But hobby horsing is more than just hobby horsing because it's a big community and a lot of people do it. And it's just not that nice. So yeah, but that's all I wanted to talk about. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.